I remember shooting the sequence where I'm shot down very well.
They got a lion! What? Back down there!
I think that's a very affecting scene because of the music, because of how it's shot. It's a beautiful setup. For me, it's really, it was a purely physical thing. And the gesture of reaching towards the heaven, that's not something we talked about. It's purely practical. The helicopter's up there, you want to reach for it. It's funny, in retrospect, I've heard many people say that Oliver Stone took that from a war photo, but it's not true. It was totally practical, and then once we had that image and once that sequence was very strong, I think it became a nice, kind of emblematic, iconic image for the film.
He's already here! I'm here! And I'm going to baptize everybody with fire!
This sounds ridiculous to say, but I didn't quite get to the idea that I was playing Christ. And maybe it was because of how I was approached. Maybe it was because of how Martin Scorsese dealt with it. Marty had made the movie in his head because he had prepared it several times. So he knew what the shots were. He was very well prepared. But for us to inhabit it, we were just kind of thrown in and really just had to deal with it. And of course, that mirrors the character, because the Christ character in this particular telling of the story is a guy that, is kind of put upon by this, this task that is given to him.
What's your name? Detective Greenlee. Who the f*** are you? That's who the f*** I am.
Listen, I gotta do this by the numbers. ID just came back on these guys. They got connections with the Russian mob. That makes it a federal matter. And Agent Smecker here is heading up the investigation with our full cooperation.
Why don't you get me a cup of coffee?
Who the hell is it?
Cafe latte.
What?
Twist of lemon.
Chief, what the f*** is this?
Sweet and low.
There was a period, less so now because it's getting to be a little time, but there was a period if a guy 15 or 16 years old came up to me to talk to me about a movie, I knew it was going to be Boondock Saints, because for a certain kind of male, particularly, at a certain time, that was really a movie that they discovered, and it was close to their heart.
I don't understand.
Did you think it was coincidence? So many good things all happening for you, all for you, Norman.
What do you want?
The task of playing a scene with yourself, that's not new. But to try to do it in one take and go back and forth, but dancing with the camera and also playing the two characters was a lot of fun. I remember Sam Raimi gave me Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and said, read this before you do the scene. And I did. It was helpful.
My first escape landed on dental tools. I was aiming for the toilet.
Toilet?
All drains lead to the ocean, kid.
Wow. How many times have you tried to get out?
I've lost count. Fish aren't meant to be in a box, kid. It does things to you.
I never thought I'd be a talking fish, but Finding Nemo was a great experience. And Andrew Stanton was just fantastic. You'd sit with him in a recording studio and you'd just riff. He'd throw stuff at you, you'd throw it back at him. He'd throw it at you, you'd throw it back at him. It was really fun.
There's a gig and there's a lot of money at the end. Run away to Hawaii. It never works out.
I think it does sometimes. You just don't know about it because they run off to Hawaii and you don't ever hear from them again. This is a guy that's brutal, but at the same time, he's so needy and so vulnerable and is looking for love. Sounds kind of jokey, but it's a nice combination.
You scared me.
Why, am I scary? And to reconcile those two sides and be able to play both of them and have them somehow be credible that they were from the same person was, I guess, one of the attractive things and one of the challenges, to find the right tone. Because we basically had a very brutal, transgressive movie, but the tone of it is very comic. So it was a lot of fun and a challenge to do.